Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you for joining me in another episode of Monkey's Corner. Monkey, say hello. Yeah, good boy. So today I wanted to go over part two of the review I did in an earlier episode of the ultra-wide Tamron 15 to 30 lens. Now this lens has vibration control and autofocus and is at aperture 2.8, so it does great in low light. Now I've taken a variety of test shots to share with you guys, so you can kind of gauge in different fields of how it will do. I did a lot of HDR photography, mainly focused on that. A lot of night photography as well, and landscapes. Of course, that's what a lens like this is going to be primarily used for. And not a lot of portraiture, simply because it's just not something I really focus on yet in my photography. Anyways, again, this one was directly to compete with the Nikon 14 to 24. While I have not tried out that lens, this lens is considerably cheaper, especially if you can find a good deal on a used one like I did, and it takes phenomenal shots. So without further ado, let me share with you some of the test shots that I have taken over my time with this lens.
Workflow. I use Lightroom for nearly everything, but I do use another program for HDR photos. So this, in combination with Aurora HDR, is the editing tools I use for these photographs, which you are going to see. So they are already edited, but it will still give you a great idea of the capability of this lens. As you can already see, there are a wide variety of shots here. So let me start with the night ones. I really wanted to do astrophotography, so I'm starting to learn now, even though winter isn't the best time. So as you can see, this is at sunset. It really got the very deep blues, and in very clear focus. Look, the noise level is very manageable as well, as you can see. So it's gorgeous in terms of rich colors. Obviously, I did saturate this so that the clouds appeared a little bit more red, but regardless, this came out very clear and a wonderful shot, an example of what it can do for stars. Now, this is actually not, this is not out of focus. I think it's just left open a second too long, so they started moving. Next photo is one of my first HDR shots. As you can see, picks up the colors fantastically. We have the deep greens and the reds and the blues on this awesome fairy. Uh, there is some chromatic aberration when you get up close, which I could turn on the setting, but I didn't, because when it's so far away, you don't really notice it as much. You even see some cars sitting still, but overall, I mean, very, very clear at the nighttime. You'll pick up some noise here and some, this is just HDR merging issues, but you can just turn on the smoothing and get rid of most of that. So here we have a HDR version of a shot overlooking a valley up Mount Rainier. Very rich tones. The clouds in the sky, the trees, they all look very sharp. See, look, when you get really clear. So a great, I mean, landscape photography is where this puppy really shines. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Um, Now this was Seattle at sunset. This was scoped out at 30 millimeters, which I think is still not enough for this shot. This is cropped out. The full shot is actually bigger. Um, deep colors in the sunset. The noise up the top though. Some dust on the sensor, which I have to fix. But other than that, you get very clear um, shot of the city. There's another one. This one's slightly better because there's more light, and it is clearer, much sharper and more in focus. So again, this is a product of HDR technique. So these are three shots combined into one to give you all the tones. And obviously, that would be a lot harder if the clarity and the sharpness of the lens wasn't up to par. Here's one at night. low light settings. There is a spotlight on the waterfall, so that picks up and looks really bright over there. But other than that, this is why this is right after sunset, so heavy noise in the sky, but it's still manageable. Crisp, clear colors, and lines. This was just a test shot. This is very early in the morning before the sun even was coming up. This is about 5:30 in the morning. As you can see, the light was enough to pick up everything and show you the rich details that this tiny little bridge town, town in the bridge in this small town had. Another beautiful landscape photograph, deep down into the finest of the details in the background. So in the noise in the sky, but mostly because of the HDR technique. Bridge in Portland at night again. If this thing has a little bit of light, it can go a really long way. Also, this is the autofocus. This is the autofocus is really pretty strong as long as there's enough light to capture it, and this is left open for about 30 seconds, so it really captures all the light wide open at 2.8. Downtown Seattle again. This is actually HDR, so not long exposure. You can get very clear. All the words and all the letters in Miner's Landing are explicit, and all the lights are pretty clear without overexposing the words. My friend at the same spot, so you can see looks very clear. The ring. This was merging 3 different versions of her into one, so that's why you get some of the effect of that. It's not actually the camera; it's just the editing process. Another landscape, countryside of Washington with an abandoned hut. So you get the really, really crisp and clear trees all throughout the photo. And then the light show at Portland. So this picks up light. This is very dark at night, and so no other lights were affecting this. Not necessary for them to either, for it to pick up this light art piece. Came out very clear. And so that's a small sample of what this guy is capable of. So, you know, as is normal with any lens, you know, the darker it is, there's going to be more noise. But to combine with your camera, it's very manageable, especially with this guy. So, I mean, I highly would recommend this lens to anyone thinking about purchasing it.
Alright guys, I hope that helped you make your decision when trying to decide what the perfect wide angle lens is for you. There are a lot of options out there, but if you do have just around $1,000 to spend, I wouldn't compromise, because these just really will bring your photos to life. As usual, if you like what you see, stay tuned for more reviews on photography, equipment, lifestyle, tips, and living and cooking and all those other good things. Thanks for watching, and subscribe and hit that like button. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Peace.